Hey girls, this is it. We have reached our final video for this series. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope that you have enjoyed our virtual workshop Design Your Dream Wedding Dress. I hope that it has answered some of the questions that you might have had in mind when it comes to going bespoke for your wedding dress and explore more options than what the high street has to offer. If you have any more questions in the future, do feel free to either contact me via my website www.delphinecouture.com or slide in the DM and I will be there to answer your questions. So as promised, for our final video, we are doing the questions that you have sent us. First of all, we're going to answer Leslie's questions. Leslie asked, how long does it normally take to make a wedding dress from scratch? That's a very good question, Leslie. Well, obviously it will depend on the style of the dress and how intricate it is. But on average, I would say that a wedding dress is about 60 hours of work. If you were to look at a dress as Chloe's, which featured in last week's video, that one was a lot of work, and as I did all the hand beading myself, it took about 200 hours, but that's exceptional. On average, approximately, a wedding dress is about 60 hours of work, which I spread over a period of time. Zoe wants to know, what do you recommend for a destination wedding, particularly transporting the dress and getting it ready for the wedding day? Okay, Zoe, yes, a lot of brides do travel abroad for their wedding. Check with your airline. Some airlines will allow you to carry your dress in its actual gown bag, and some might be able to hang it up for you in first class wardrobe or not. So check with your airline, but most of the time, most airlines expect you to carry your dress as hand luggage. The reason I recommend doing it as hand luggage is, do not, under any circumstances, send your dress in a suitcase that's checked in the hold, because if your suitcase goes missing, you are stuffed. So always, always, always take your dress with you as hand luggage with everything that you will be wearing on the day, and it does not leave your sight. Make sure it's name tagged, you keep it in the overhead locker or by your feet, and it stays with you at all times. That way, even if your main suitcase was to go missing, everything you need to wear on the day is with you. I'm very happy to show you how to pack it, and very often I end up packing it myself for the brides who are traveling abroad with their dresses, so that it doesn't crease too much. And whether you are having a beach dress or you're going to Iceland to be the ice queen and you've got a whopper, we managed to all fit it into your hand luggage. You will be amazed, but yes, we do it. So I'm very happy to help you with that. Are you getting it wedding day ready? If you have a wedding planner, your wedding planner's job is to make sure that they source out somewhere reliable for you to have your dress steamed or pressed if that's what it requires. If you are getting married at a venue that normally hosts weddings, they will probably have a steamer that you can borrow, or they will probably have a dry cleaning service which will be happy to do that for you. Otherwise, again, at our last appointment, I can explain to you how to steam your dress safely before the wedding day. The next one is Laura. How long in advance do we start when making a bespoke dress? Well, Laura, I normally start 3 months in advance. We obviously can meet up way before that to discuss your requirements and so forth. But as we're making everything in here and all our materials and supplies are in the UK, we don't need to start prior to 3 months before the wedding. Obviously, I would book you in my diary before that to make sure I secure your slot, but starting 3 months gives us plenty of time to go through the design, sourcing out the material and making the dress. And the nearer we leave it to the wedding, the more accurate the fit is going to be. Some brides who live abroad start a year in advance. At the moment, I'm working on a design for a bride who lives in France, so she has fittings as and when she flies in to visit her family. So we started way in advance to be able to fit her in whenever it suits her. But if you live in the UK, we can start 3 months before the wedding. Ellie wants to know, what part of the job do you enjoy the most and which is the most stressful? Oh dear, okay. Well, the part I really enjoy, I don't always get to do that, is if I get invited to a wedding or if it's a friend or someone I know and I get to dress the bride on the actual day. That is a very special moment, and there are two particular pictures that I always ask the photographer to make sure that he gets me the picture where the dad sees his girl for the first time as a bride, and when the groom sees his bride for the first time. These two pictures are two particular moments that I really enjoy seeing. But getting to dress a bride on the day is the cherry on the cake, because that's when everything comes together. Even at the final fitting, you do get a very good idea of everything, but the makeup is not done. You don't have the flowers, and honestly, on the day you get that glow that you only have on your wedding day, when everything comes together nicely. So being able to be part of that and being part of that journey to make somebody's big day extra special is a moment that I enjoy the most. What is the most stressful time? Well, unfortunately it does happen, because it's a very stressful job. You know, somebody's big day in a way is in your hands, so there's no room for error. And a lot of brides unfortunately have very high expectations, and social media hasn't always helped in that aspect, because a lot of brides have this idea of what they should look like on their wedding day, and it's not always a realistic picture to have. You probably have heard of the expression bridezilla, and it does exist for a reason, and I will be honest to say that I have encountered them over the years. Names will not be mentioned. It's purely, I think, because brides expect too much of themselves, and sometimes I wish that I had a magic wand to make it all happen, and sometimes I wish I was a plastic surgeon to make it all happen, but I am not. So I try my hardest to match their expectations, and 99.9% of the time I do manage that. All over the years, thank goodness, I've had mostly happy brides, and I think you can go to my Google reviews to read their comments yourself. The next question is from Joe. Joe wants to know, what if I put on or lose weight? That is actually a question that a lot of brides worry about, because in an ideal world, a bride will monitor her weight and stabilize once we start the process of making the dress. But the reality is that very often stress kicks in before the wedding, and a lot of brides tend to lose weight if they are stressed. And whether we are making a bespoke dress or whether we're doing alterations to design a gown that's been bought off the peg, very often tweaks need to be done nearer the time of the wedding, and that's totally doable whether you're doing bespoke or ready to wear. Both can be done. Obviously, if a dress is already completely finished, if you've taken it away and then you lose more weight and last minute alterations need to be done, this could incur an extra cost, which is absolutely normal, but it's doable. So do not panic. What I normally say is pop on the scales once or twice a week. If you find that you are putting on weight, cut out on the Mars bars, and if you find that you are losing too much weight, well, shove it all in. Enjoy all the burgers and Mars bars that you want. Oh, how do I get my dress cleaned after? That's a very good point. Make sure that you use a specialized dry cleaner who is experienced in bridal gowns. Particularly if your dress is in silk with embellishments, make sure that you do your research online and that you use a specialist that will be experienced in dealing with that type of wedding gowns. Do be prepared that it might set you back another £200 or more. If, however, your dress is polyester and you're feeling brave, they very often can be hand washed in your bathtub successfully. For the price range, well, you can refer to my service page on my website, or if you want any more information, I am available on Zoom for consultations. So do let me know if you have any more questions. Other than that, I want to really give you a massive thank you for all your support and for joining me in this series. If you have enjoyed these videos and if you want to see more of them, do let me know. If you have any content suggestions that you would like me to post, I will be very happy to look into it. I've really enjoyed your company over the last few weeks, so thank you very much for joining me. Please like and share this video with your squads. And if you are getting married in 2021 or 2022, do not hesitate to drop me a line if you require any further information. In the meantime, girls, I really hope that your wedding plans will go ahead smoothly. Do try to enjoy it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience most of the time, so make sure you enjoy it. Delegate to reliable people so that it is as stress-free as possible. So take care, keep in touch, and thank you very much for all your support. Bye bye for now.